Well, Chiefs fans, we snuck one of by us to buy them again. That's for damn sure. The Kansas City Chiefs are now 11-1 as they took on the Raiders in their first Black Friday prime game on November 29th. That's right, Black Friday, late afternoon. The Arrowhead was rocking. There is no doubt in my mind as the Raiders come to town. The Raiders are the most hated team in Kansas City by far, but that does sweep the Raiders and probably might be one of the most controversial endings to a game that I have seen yet this season. And believe me, we've had some squeakers this season. I have my own take on this. I'm a diehard Chiefs fan, and I always will be a diehard Chiefs fan. But in all honesty, they need to get some shit cleaned up. And I personally think it has a lot to do with their secondary. And I was thrilled beyond words. I jumped up and down and pumped my fist when they pulled number 13, Najee Johnson, out of the fucking game. Because as much as I like this guy in the beginning, he has been fucking trash in the last few games. Blowing coverages, not looking like he knows what the fuck he's doing. And apparently, my rants and raves right here on the Indiana Chiefs Fan podcast has made it to Andy Reid, and he got to looking at him and said, fuck this, he's got to get out. that's my opinion, because I'm sure Andy Reid watches this podcast. Anyway, we are the Indiana Chiefs fans. I am Golden Jay, and with me this week is the Chief. He is just getting off some bartending duties and was able to make the show tonight. What's going on, bud?
Just reliving this game and, kind of the same reaction that you had, shock and awe, I guess, is lack of a better word. How it ended. But to your other point, dude, we were in the red zone multiple times. Got multiple field goals. We're playing the Raiders, people. We should be scoring touchdowns, not getting field goals. This game should have never even come down to the wire. Our offensive players, they do great. Then you get in the red zone, they forget what the hell they're doing. I don't know what's happening there. That's my take on just the quick off the cuff. We should have never been in this position for that last play.
I agree with you 100%. Like I said, the cleanup the last 2 weeks, we've gone up against teams that were nowhere near 500. The Raiders are what 2-10 coming out of this weekend. Carolina's starting to put it together for some weird reason. That Bryce Young is like came alive. I don't understand it, but more power to Carolina. But ultimately, with the packages that we have, bringing in D-Hop, Kareem Hunt, Pacheco being back, all of these pieces are starting to come together, and yet we're stumbling in the red zone yet again.
So Jeremy, you brought up D-Hop, right?
D-Hop.
There's a conspiracy theory out there, be it true, be it conspiracy, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. When they traded DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs, they have a conditional 4th round or conditional 5th round based on, number one, we make the Super Bowl, and number two, he plays 60% of the snaps. So there's some speculation out there in the wild that the Chiefs are holding him back right now. So his percentage is low until we get later into the season, into the playoffs, so that we don't give up a 4th round pick. I don't know. I mean, that seems a little far-fetched, but I've seen it on a few people's channels and kind of some, Facebook stuff, about the Chiefs are underutilizing them so they don't have to give up a 5th round pick. And in my opinion, the difference between 4th and 5th round pick is it's sizable, but not that sizable. We're not talking 1st or 2nd round pick, but I don't know. I thought I'd throw it out there. Are they just keeping his reps down on purpose or not. I don't know. They don't use him enough anyway.
Right.
With the talent he has, so I don't know what's Andy Reid's keeping him out of the player rotation so much.
Well, I mean, obviously that could be a definite thing that they're looking at in the future, or I mean, could it be that they're saving him more for the playoffs because of his age and the possibility of him getting hurt? I mean, we've kind of been burnt by this whole thing this season with Rice getting hurt and out. Of course, Hollywood Brown, this big trade that we made in the off season, and I've seen some videos of him training, um, in the facility, and it looks like he might be able to sooner than we anticipated. But once again, there's no official word on his return. And even if he does come back, I mean, where do we stand? I mean, he hasn't played all season. Is he going to be in a limited role just to help take away some of those double coverages on Kelsey or Hopkins, or Watson or whoever they're? I mean, in my book, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you motherfuckers better start double covering fucking Noah Gray, because he is just tearing up the last few weeks. Unfortunately, I don't think he walked away with a tutty this weekend. But still, I mean, Noah walked away with 4 catches for 58 yards. I mean, that's a good day for a tight end.
Yeah.
And, it's going to get to the point where we're going to have all these wide receivers and, they're all going to be single covered. And, that's going to play into our advantage coming into the playoffs.
So just to follow up on, Hollywood Brown, yesterday there was an article that he might be back in week 16. If not 16, definitely week 17, which
Just
to
to
your
get
point gets him acclimated back to the offense, being on the field, getting hit. I'll take it. Even if he catches 2 passes a game, or he's a decoy like you're saying, I'm down with that. Hollywood Brown, D Hop, and Travis and Noah Gray. I mean, and you got Kareem Hunt that can catch the ball just as
right.
good as a receiver coming out of the backfield. And Pacheco's back. I think next week or the week after he'll probably be back to 100%. I think the weapons are coming. It's just defense. What is the other half. Our defense is decent. I'm not cracking down on them, but they can get better. They need to get better.
And I agree with you to an extent. I mean, it just seems like they're gassed. It just seems like we've gotten to that point in the season where they're out of juice. It's like, we've saved games for the first 11, 12 weeks of the season, and we're kind of getting to that point where whether other teams are figuring out what their defensive scheme is, or I'm still once again, us losing Snead was a big thing. However, I did hear that Snead has been out for the last 6-7 weeks with an injury. What is he in Tennessee? Is that where he's at? Did they trade him in Tennessee? I can't quite remember, but I heard he's been out. But I think that the captain role that Snead brought to that just hasn't been taken over by anybody in that secondary. And you would think that McDuffie would be that guy. And McDuffie's good, even though he got burned a couple times last week in Carolina. It happens. You're not going to be 100% of the time. Even Jason Kelsey said it's all about the 92%. 92% of the time, it works 100% of the time. So, yeah, I mean, I get it.
I think, the other thing is sometimes our offense is too good against teams, and we score too fast, be it a field goal, be it a touchdown. Time of possession typically is never in the Chiefs' favor. And then, you got early turnovers, stuff like that in the game that affect the defense because they're out there even longer. So I think, with Pacheco back and Kareem Hunt in there, maybe we start running the ball a little bit more, do some more clock work, so our defense isn't out there every 2 minutes. And it's because, you get a 40-yard pass, and next thing you know, we're in the red zone. I mean,
Right.
I don't know how much that plays into it. I mean, the turnovers definitely hurt our defense, a lot. Luckily, Mahomes has been decent.
Last couple games, no interceptions, no turnovers.
So that's good. But prior to that, I mean, that 3 interception game, a 2 interception game, and the defense helped us. I think they kept them to a field goal in one instance. We held who was it? We held 4 downs on the half-yard line. Was that the Raiders again? I can't remember.
Oh God, I don't remember now. Yeah.
I think it was the Raiders, whoever it was. But
right.
Our defense helped us, and now the offense needs to reciprocate and give them a week off. And I'm using air quotes. Let's run the ball a little bit more. Let's do some ball control. I mean, obviously, if Hopkins or Watson's open, 60 yards down the field, throw the fucking touchdown. But
right. Right.
I don't know if that plays into it. Is all I'm saying. Are we scoring too fast? Time of possession probably plays into that a lot too. So. And you know what? Our defense, as good as we are, we're giving up way too many third downs. Too many third downs.
Well, and some third down penalties in there. Yeah, and some third down penalties in there that are killing us too. So, you stop them, and then there's a flag on the play, and you're like, what the fuck did we do now? And next thing you know, they're back to being first down. A couple things, though, to take away from what you just talked about. The run almost seemed to be completely abandoned in this Raiders game too. It was like we ran a few times to start off with, and then we was like, oh, we'll just go back to the pass. And the run. I mean, Pacheco had a couple of good runs in there. Kareem kind of got shut down a little bit on the couple he had, but it just seemed like we just gave up on it for some weird reason again. And Andy is notorious for that. He loves to pass the ball. I get it, but you've got to stick with it, or else. I mean, that's what opens up your pure passing game, is that run game. It brings those high safeties down in and opens up somebody like Hardman, who's got the speed to get out there and open up that. If you want that long fucking play, like we had when Tyreek was here, then you need to get the run established and to open up that secondary up. And it drives me insane. Pacheco had 7 carries. Hunt had 7 carries. Pacheco went 7 for 44, and Hunt went 7 for 15. Although Pacheco, and I'll talk about this here in a little bit, did have a 34-yard run. It was beautiful. It was in the third quarter. It was good to see him back. You know what I'm saying?
They're too predictable. First down, we're going to run. First down, we're going to run. First down, we're going to run. It's like, mix it up. Don't always run on first down. Do a play action on first down. Do a simple pass play. Do a jet sweep. Do anything besides a run on first down every once in a while, and make them think about it. Because if I'm a defensive coordinator, all right, it's first down and 10, they're going to run.
Right.
I mean, stack the box, bring your guys in, and I mean that's what I noticed too, is the predictability of what that first down play is going to be.
Right,
a run.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you there. I definitely you can look at it and go, yeah, they're going to run the ball. We all know it, and they're getting stuff for 1 yard or negative 2 or 3 yards. Yeah. I mean, which brings up another point, is that O-line. We have our 3 middle guys with Creed, Tooney, and Smith, but our outside guys are looking like shit.
Didn't one of them get benched?
Kingsley got benched for Wanye Morris, but Wanye is not been looking that great. And of course, we went out and we signed DJ Humphreys, I think from New England. I don't think he's quite up to par yet, but it's real close. He's
jackass.
Jawan Taylor. Yeah.
He got, I think, 3 this game, I think.
It could be 3. I only got marked for 2. This round.
One was stupid. He wasn't even lined up on the damn offensive line. I mean, You
You
know,
would think with as much slack as he's taken over with this lately that he would make sure that he's lined up. Unfortunately for Taylor, he is not as athletic as some of these defensive linemen that are coming after him. So he has to set himself up to cheat, so to speak. And that's what I call it. It's called it's called a cheat. And that is to listen, Taylor could be flagged 17 times during a game for a false start. He is getting off that ball 1 second too soon. So in order to try to not have to get off the ball as quick, he's setting back on that line, and then he's getting flagged for being, what do they call it? Illegal something.
legal formation.
Illegal formation, yeah. And we all see it. As Chiefs fans, we stare at it week in, week fucking out. We see it. I watch him jump, and I wait for the flag.
Yep.
I actually every game I have that I've been taking notes on this year, I have a little thing here where I wrote 74 and a little slash mark, and then I start putting the slashes for fucking penalty flags that gets called on. I do that every fucking week, and there was a couple games he never got called on one. The last 2 weeks he's been back to his old habits again, but he is trying to jump it because I don't think he's athletic enough to handle that job on that end. And when you go up against people like fucking Max Crosby or Nick Bosa or somebody like that, I get it. Those guys are fucking talented, and they're getting through that line because they are talented. They know how to do it, and you got to kind of make your way to be able to block them in time. But even with the jump, even with the illegal formation, those guys are still getting through, both Morris and Taylor on each end. And
so,
once again, that doesn't do us pretty good for the pass game because Pat's running for his fucking life, or he's getting sacked 5 fucking times a game. Come on, guys, we got to get this fixed, big time.
So here's 2 stats. I just Googled it while you were talking. On the Kansas City Chiefs penalty statistics for 2024, number 1 is Jawan Taylor with 11 penalties. Guess who number 2 is?
Oh, number 2?
Juana Morris, the other offensive tackle, with 7. So, I mean, we got, when your offensive tackles are your top 2 penalty getters, those are drive killers,
Yep.
In a lot of instances. Luckily, we have Mahomes. I mean, we have playmakers that can get us out of some of these, but some we just can't get out of, But when your 2 top penalty getters are on the offensive line, that's not good.
No, it's bad. It's bad. And like I said, they're trying to fix it, bringing in DJ Humphries, to take over that left tackle spot. We're just going to have to deal with with Taylor. And
we paid him way too much money. We can't dump him even next year, I don't think. I think we got to wait another year. I think he signed a 4-year contract for $48 million or whatever the hell it was.
Right on.
So, Beach is not going to take the $18 million cap hit, guaranteed. So.
Yeah, but if we can find somebody in the draft this coming season that looks better than him, well, Kingsley they thought was going to be that guy for the right tackle, but he didn't come to fruition. It might be one of the bigger busts for Beach, to be honest. But it is what it is. I mean, they can't all be 100%. They can't all be fucking Pacheco's and Trent McDuffies. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately.
But when you're paying rookie, you're paying some,
right,
$40 million.
Yeah, you expect them to do the job that they're paid for.
Yeah, he lives up to it. If he would stop with the penalties,
right?
Protect Mahomes a little better, but I'm not saying he's the worst offensive tackle in the NFL, but he sure ain't
the best.
So
yeah,
this year, Jawan Taylor cost us roughly base salary $11.5 million. Signing bonus this year was $7 million. So he's costing us $20 million. Like I said, I was guessing, but I was actually pretty right. His cap hit should we get rid of him is $53 million. So
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. We're stuck with this guy, for
at
at least
least one more season.
2 more years.
2 more years. Come on,
Yeah.
Brett. Figure it out. We need him out of here. Once again,
So-
though, who you going to get to fill the spot? I mean, if we're having this much trouble with him, they would have benched him and put somebody else in, but there's nobody else there to take it. So,
Well, he's making more this year, 98% of our squad.
right.
Travis Kelsey's making $17 million this year. So,
Yeah,
but
to be fair though, Travis cut some deals to take signing bonuses and stuff like that.
He got 2.5 million signing bonus. His base salary this year is 5.7, and his roster bonus is 11 million. So,
Whew. God, it must be rough.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out he's probably the third or fourth highest paid player. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3. He is the fourth highest player on our roster right now.
Right on.
Even Chris Jones made less than him.
Yeah, but Jones is coming due here in the next couple of years with his big signing. So I remember this first year was going to be kind of tame compared to what the next 2 years are going to be. So
no, I get it. I'm just throwing out. There's a lot of people out there, and I'm one of them, that say we're paying this gentleman way too much money to get penalties and get Mahomes hit. So
right, exactly.
I'm going to digress on this subject because we could probably spend another 10 minutes on it. But
yeah, let's move into the game, shall we? Well, in all honesty, we've been talking about the game because every aspect that we just touched on is things that happen during this game that really stuck out to me. The offensive line not protecting Mahomes, and even when they did, it's only because the Raiders were rushing 3, so they were able to pick them up. But in that case, that means there's dropbacks and those guys are being covered, and he had nobody to throw to. So, it's funny how it all works out sometimes. When Patrick had some time, there was nobody to go to. And, as good as he is, sometimes you can't squeeze it into that little slot there and so on and so forth. But yeah, hopefully they figure out if that's what they're doing, is just kind of holding D-Hop back a little bit just in order to kind of keep the percentage down so we can give up a fifth and not a fourth, which I think is ridiculous if you honestly think about it, because who gives two shits about a fourth or a fifth round? If you got to give it up, give it up. Yeah. Let's get him out there. Let's get him playing. And of course, if we get Brown back, and whatever in the world's going to happen with Rashee Rice, coming off of his injury, his surgery, is he going to be back for the playoffs? Who knows? Is he even going to be back next year after his legal trouble? That still looms out there, everybody. This whole fucking deal of all that. Maybe Kareem Hunt will set him down and just smack him across the face and go, "This is what happened to me. Don't fuck around. Just come play football, keep your nose clean, and make a lot of money." Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hey, real quick, I do have a fun fact for you that I'd like to share. I was going to share it last week, but you weren't with me. So, would you like to hear this fun fact?
Shoot.
Hold on, I got it written down somewhere. It's in my notes.
Shoot.
No.
Vegetable 2023.
Vegetable 2023? It's not in this notepad.
I can't read what's on top of that. Mothman.
Oh, it's the Mothman. It's the Mothman Festival. One of my listeners from West Virginia went to the Mothman Festival in 2023 and picked me up a shirt and sent it to me. How's that? How's that for fucking cool? Oh, here it is. Are you ready for this little factual thing that I read the other day that I thought that you'd be interested in?
Yes.
All right. So, Chiefs record book. This is the Chiefs record book for the most receiving yards in Kansas City history. Are you ready?
Yep.
So number one, obviously, is Travis Kelce with 11,763. Now, mind you, this has been a couple games ago that I took this down. So
Yep.
obviously, you can add the yards for the last couple weeks.
So is Tony G next?
Tony G is next with 10,940. Number three, any idea? You got to go back a long way.
Lynn Swan?
It's Otis Taylor. This is
Damn.
receiving yards. Lynn Swan's not going to have receiving yards.
No. Sorry. Yeah. I was in the right. Hey, I was in the
You
right.
were in the right era.
era.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Damn it.
Otis Taylor was 7,306. I'm going to skip number 4, and I'm going to take you to number 5. Number 5 is Tyreek Hill with 6,630. Do you want to guess who the fourth most receiving yards was brought up? Who number 4 is? With 7,155.
Don't tell me it's Dwayne Blows.
It's Dwayne Bowe.
Oh, fuck.
When I read that, I fucking lost my shit. I'm like, oh man, Dwayne Bowe is 4th all time in Chiefs history. Record book is receiving.
You got to think though, man. Two of those, the top two, are tight ends.
True.
Dwayne Bowe, he was a wide receiver 1. He should have had 14,000 yards. In my opinion, as a WR1. But
what was Otis Taylor? I thought Otis Taylor was a running back. Was he a wide receiver?
I had to Google it again.
I would too.
The point I was leading up to is how many teams in the NFL have tight ends as their top 2 wide receivers of all time?
I'll bet you that if you
Google,
I bet you if you Googled, if you Googled the Patriots, Gronkowski's probably in the top spot.
But you're not going to. I don't think you're going to find a lot of teams that have that as a stat.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna recant that. I'm betting you Gronkowski is not in the top spot for New England. He might not even be in the top 5 because he was never a long distance guy. He didn't have a lot of yak. He just had a lot of touchdowns because they played him more in the red zone, and that's where he come up with most of his catches. I believe that's what I think I know. I have a fly in my studio. The motherfucker keeps bombarding me in the face, just so you know. If you're watching on YouTube and you see me swatting shit, then you'll know what's going on.
So, S. Morgan is the top for the Patriots, Stanley Morgan.
Okay.
With 10,352. And in second place, Gronkowski.
No kidding.
Followed by Wes Welker and then Edelman.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean,
Wes Welker, now there was a fucking wide receiver.
Yeah. But, yeah, there you go. I don't know. That's, you know what? I'm going to go back, do some homework on that because I find that intriguing a little bit.
Yeah, to see if there's anybody else in the tight end in. But, yeah, I mean, they put Gronk is right there on the top. I mean.
Yeah, second place, but he's Gronkowski, like you said, even though he's the second, Tony had 11,000 and
Tony had 10,940. Travis has 11,763.
Yeah, so he's got him beat by Travis and 4,000 passing yards.
Right.
Past Gronkowski, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
I'm going to take that as the fun fact and turn it into some homework and see.
There you go. Get to work.
Teams fare.
Tell Karen to put on her school marm outfit and fucking smack your fingers with a ruler. All right, well, let's get into this game, all right? So November 29th, it is a Black Friday game. It's only the second one that Prime has put on. It's the first one Kansas City's been a part of. I love it that we're playing the Raiders on Black Friday. It just seems fitting 100%. Yeah. It's in Arrowhead, which, bring on anything in Arrowhead, right? Raiders win the toss. Chiefs take over with 12:40 to go. Number 10's first run back. So we're 12 minutes and with to go in the first half, which means what? What is about three something into the show. Number 10 actually gets his first run, so he gets it's just a +4. He got 4 yards. I'll take 4 yards. I'll take 4 yards every fucking time he wants to touch the ball. And we could do that 4 straight times, and he'll have all kinds of first downs. But his next run, which was right or immediately after, he did get a first down. So I say, welcome back, Isaiah Pacheco. It is so good to see you back on the field, especially after all you've had to get through. Pass to D-Hop. Had a good pass to D-Hop, but then the drive stalls. Drives in with a field goal by Matthew Wright, who is taking over for Sanders, who got hurt this last week in practice, who was taking over for Butker, who we hope to have back very soon. I like Matthew Wright. I think he done a solid couple years ago when he had to come in and fill in, but he does not have that long distance leg like Butker does. So we will definitely be happy to have Wright while he's here, but man, we're looking forward to getting Butker back. Raiders punt. The Raiders punt in the next drive there, and that drops it on the 1 yard line, and there's some sort of holding penalty on KC, which drops it back to the half yard line. But wait, let's pump the brakes on that motherfucker right there, because it wasn't on Kansas City. It was on the Raiders. What the fuck, guys? I mean, this is the first step in what is going to be a very fucked up ending to this game. And it's all about the officials. So there you go. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, they've downed it on the 1 yard line, a holding penalty, half yard. There you go.
From commercial break and the whole game changed. You were like, what the hell just happened here?
Yeah, and they're playing it. It's like they forgot that they were supposed to wait till we come back from commercial break before they start the fucking game back up. Anyways, Chiefs. Let's see, they did a re-kick because of that, and the Chiefs drive stalls with a punt into first with the Raiders with the ball, and they finished the first quarter with Kansas City out there tending to Nick Bolton on the ground, which I never heard anything more about that. But it's always scary when you see Bolton, being attended to. So, but that we end the quarter with 3-0 Kansas City. Raiders start off their second quarter with 2 big passes. Bolton is back. Drive ends with a field goal, giving it 3-3. What did I write? 3 and out for the Chiefs on their next drive. Raiders drive ends in a missed field goal. Short. With 5:55, the Chiefs take over at midfield. Start off with a pass to Gray for a big gain. And then you got the Kelsey flip to Pirine for the first down after that. And then I think that was the next player to play after that. And it's going to be, it is, and it always will be the talk of, do they really call this, or, do they practice this? Yes, they practice it in practice. It's a fun thing that they set out there and do. And sometimes it pays off. Travis is all about it. He knows he's got more yards. This is the second time he's seen Pirine in the last couple of weeks where he's able to flip it out to him and, get those extra yards. In this case, it was a first down, I do believe. And, it is what it is. Touchdown, Mahomes to Watson, giving us a 10-3 Chiefs lead. And with that touchdown, that is 238th career touchdown for Patrick Mahomes. And you know what that means? He passes the great Lynn Dawson.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, what a mile marker for Mahomes, especially. I mean, in the grand scheme of it, his very young career. I mean, he hasn't been there that long. What is it? We got 7-8 years with him. I can't figure out exactly what it is, but to be able to pass Lynn Dawson this early in his career means that his record is just going to be almost fucking unattainable for quarterbacks in the future. But maybe in 20 years we'll be watching and I'll call you up and be like, you ain't going to believe this, but this guy just passed Mahomes fucking, I don't know.
8 years.
8 years?
So 7 years as a starter.
As a 100% starter.
Yeah.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning. The Raiders have the ball. Second sack for Chris Jones, but they're in the Raiders punt. Chiefs with 1 minute and 2 touchdowns. So let's see what they can do. Sack on 15. Yeah. There's a big catch. There's a big catch by D-Hop. Let's see. Ending this with a field goal by Wright at the end of the half. Oh, he missed a field goal. Wright missed the one at the end of the half. Ending the half at 10-3 Kansas City. I mean, we talked about the defense early in this game, but I mean, they only allowed 3 points in the first half of this game. I mean, you can't fight that. It's pretty good shit. Third quarter starts off with the Raiders taking the opening second half drive, and what looked like a first for the Raiders. This fly is killing me. They went for it on fourth down in that drive, but did not get it, which I thought was pretty awesome. Way to go, defense. Turnover rundowns. Yep. Chiefs start at 30. Gray with another big catch and run. 10 with a big run. That's where the 34-yard one come in for Pacheco. Bad sack. Bad sack. This fucking fly, man. He is right there in my face while I'm trying to read. Bad sack on Mahomes where he dropped the ball. Chiefs put up a field goal. 13-3 Kansas City with 8:40 to go in the third. The Raiders drive with some big time throws, but a long sack by Breers George actually kind of shuts it down. Another missed field goal by the Raiders with 4:28. Chiefs take over at the 40. We had 2 drops, one by Gray and one by Kelsey in that drive, but a big catch by D-Hop that kept that drive going. What does that say? Look, I got to move my notes so I can read them a little bit better. I know I'm getting old. Oh, Worthy with a big catch. Another miss to Kelsey, and we end up with another field goal by Wright, making it 16-3. With 1:45, the Raiders drive, and with a touchdown to Brock Bowers, giving it a 16-10. I'll tell you what, man. Watching Bowers in this game, and I'm not a Raiders fan, don't get me wrong. I respect the players because, as much as I might want to just fucking throat punch Max Crosby, the guy's got fucking talent, and you can't take that away from him. Brock Bowers is going to be somebody to be contended with in the future. He is a really, really good tight end, and I mean, this is his rookie. This is his rookie campaign, so it's really good to see him out there doing his thing, and he's doing a great job. So hopefully they can get an actual fucking quarterback that can throw the ball and do something there in Vegas, and they'll have a nice little tight end to go with. Or, Travis retires in about a year or two. Maybe we can just pick up Bowers in a trade, and we'll just replace him with Bowers. I'm just saying, looking at the future, Chiefs fans, you never know. Kelsey's kind of on that teeter-totter right now. He sees what his brother's doing. Fucking late night shows, podcasts, and ESPN commentating. You never know what Travis might be thinking. We had another 3 and out for the Chiefs in the third quarter with the Raiders with the ball. Raiders start with a long TD pass, giving them the lead, 17-16. Pat with a good run. D-Hop got a nice PI, a nice pass interference. D-Hop with a big catch on a 2-20. Worthy with a catch and run. Then 15 got sacked again, which seemed to be a fucking thing of the day. If Mahomes wasn't getting sacked, it wasn't a fucking drive. I got to flip the page. I got more notes on the third page. Listen, we got I was writing as much down as I possibly could. Chiefs drive a field goal, giving the score 19-17 to Kansas City. Defense holds Raiders to a punt with 6:46 to go. Chiefs start at their 25. Another run by Pacheco, incomplete pass to Kelsey, a pass to Pirine, but KC has to punt. They didn't go anywhere with that shit. It just seemed like their offense stalled in that moment. We had two big knockdown passes on the next Raiders drive by 56 and 20. If you don't know, that's Karlaftis and Reed. Missed field goal by the Raiders. Another missed field goal by the Raiders? Are you fucking kidding me right now? How many is that? 3? Huh. Could have had the game won with 9 extra motherfucking points, Las Vegas. How about that spread, if you want to think about it? Chiefs get the ball in the 48. And this is the most baffling motherfucking play of the motherfucking night. Most baffling play of this whole entire game. The Chiefs are setting 3rd and 2. And they decide that they're going to throw a 50-yard fucking pass downfield. Why, on a 3rd and 2, would you throw a pass when you got Pacheco and Kareem Hunt and you're going to fucking try to throw a 50-yard fucking bomb? It made no sense whatsoever. Andy, listen to me. Get the first down. We're more worried about first downs than we are 50-yard fucking spectacular plays. We know that it can be done. We know Pat can throw the ball. It's just not happening. Get the first down and then throw your fucking 50-yard bomb. I don't give a shit, but get the first down. And this ends up being that we have to finish. We could have finished the game with this first down. That's the thing. If we'd have gotten that first down, we could have kneeled down and then it would have been done. We could have because by now the Raiders have used up all their timeouts. There's only so many minutes. There's less than 2 minutes to go in this game. And we give the ball back to them on a punt. Of course, we've talked about this, the ending that, and we can spend a few minutes on this. We talked about it prior to actually starting recording. Chief, go ahead and just tell us the rule and what exactly happened in that final play.
What they called was
Illegal shift.
No, I know illegal shift. I was cracking up because we talked about it, in length before the show.
Right.
But their wide receiver, who did I say it was?
Meyer.
Meyer,
yeah.
The quarterback was in the back, directing traffic with his running back, talking to, motioning receivers around, and in between doing that, the way the Raiders do their snap counts is the guard taps the center. And when that happens, the center, whatever the snap count is in his head, 1 second, 2 second, whatever it might be, well, he hikes the ball. Well, the quarterback's looking over towards the running back and tight end wide receiver on the right side. Well, I believe tight end on the left side is motioning to the wide receiver either to move back, move forward. So he's moving his feet, as that ball inadvertently got hiked. The quarterback was not expecting that. So the first initial thing that I heard was someone blew the play dead, right?
Right.
That's the first thing I heard. I went back and listened to it. I couldn't tell if that was a rest whistle, someone from the fans. I couldn't tell you. And there was a flag on both sides of the field, the right side and the left side, I believe.
Right.
And long story short is, I believe that wide receiver was still moving. Wasn't, because you have to move and be set for 1 second before the ball gets hiked to the quarterback or whoever. He was not set. Illegal motion is not a dead ball foul, meaning the play isn't stopped.
Right.
Unless, something like if the defense, obviously, they'll stop those so they don't hit the quarterback, Otherwise, as everyone knows, they call it a free play.
Right.
So, unbeknownst to me, and I didn't even know, we recovered the football.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even realize. I'll be honest.
Nick Bolton comes up with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's interesting because he hikes the ball. The ball hits him in the shoulder. He realizes it. He goes down to get it. But when he went to scoop it, he pushed it. And then one of his offensive line, if you look really close, kicks it with his heel, kicks it out from underneath him. And that's when Bolton jumps on the ball right there, which I thought was hilarious because, basically because O'Connell was right there. I mean, if the guy wouldn't have kicked it, they would have recovered it. I mean, it still would have been end of game at that point because the clock would have still been running, I'm assuming.
Well, unless you're on the other side of this penalty that says it's a dead ball
right
penalty, which stops the clock. It's a penalty, I believe, and don't get me wrong on this, if you're under 2 minutes, if the clock's running, you get a penalty. I don't remember if they do a 10-second. I can't remember. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What mattered was what happened. I believe the refs got it right. New York also has the ability to buzz in the last 2 minutes of a game to make sure that they're looking at what's happening. I don't know how many games you guys have been watching, but penalties and plays, they're getting buzzed and told what to do before they even have a chance to realize what happened.
Right.
So I don't know how involved New York gets with penalties. Not really sure, but I don't think New York really mattered in this instance. I think the right call was made. You slow down the film. You watch the wide receiver on the left. His feet are in motion a millisecond before that ball is hiked.
Right.
Basically created an illegal motion. And I guess the third point, which Jeremy, you brought up, it wouldn't have mattered. Their field goal kicker missed 3 field goals.
That's true.
Let's just say it was a dead ball foul, spot foul. They lost 7 or 8 yards at least on that. Would have been probably 50-plus yard, somewhere around 50-plus yard kick. Your kicker missed 3 already. So I'm not really sure that this whole fucking referee gate that people have against the Chiefs is, worth it. We're not paying the refs, people. It doesn't happen. The NFL, even though I used to think the NFL scripted, to a bit, I don't believe that really anymore. It's not because our team's winning. It's because to script a game of this caliber being watched by millions of people,
right,
it would be blatant and obvious. And that's what people are saying about this play. It's blatant and obvious. But watch the play again. Slow it down. Listen to, I Googled a few folks before, we started this podcast, and there's opposing views on both sides, good and bad.
Right.
You can go pro and con it, but in the long run, you really think the kicker would have made it? No. I mean, period.
Not when he went 1 for 4 on today. I wish I had the numbers of which ones he missed.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the grand scheme of it, I don't think it matters. I'm not sure they would have even if they would have tried it. Maybe they just went for it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Listen, the whole thing of time management, I mean, is insane with these games. And, if you can't manage the clock properly to begin with and hold on to a timeout so that you have it when you actually need it, then there's a problem. However, if you're a Chicago Bear, I mean, you have a timeout, but then you fucking forget to use it and you let the clock tick out 30 seconds, then it's your own fucking fault and you need to be fired.
It's odd you say that. I was going to bring up Matthew firing due to bad clock management. I was watching that game. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why don't you take a damn timeout? Take a timeout.
Do something. Spike the ball. Do something. They went at that, and this is a Caleb Williams young in the NFL. I mean,
Yeah. He needs to be managed.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy did not do it. And to be honest, I'd have fired the whole front fucking office right there on the field. You're fired. You're fired, and you're fired. Just all fucking go home because that is ridiculous.
By the way, this is the first time in Chicago Bears history that they have fired a coach midseason.
Really?
That's how egregious I think the McCaskies felt about
mismanagement
of this game and others probably. But they typically stick with a bad coach till the end of the season.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge and what I Googled, this was the first time they've actually fired a coach midseason. He's the second or third to be fired already this year.
Well, the Jets coach got fired, which is unfucking believable because, I mean, yeah, that's just redonk. But
and there was one other one I can't remember, but yeah. I think there was a third one. But yeah, coaching staff, man, if you got young players, you got to develop them, and you got to keep that in mind. And I'll be honest, Andy Reid is not perfect in this manner, but he's 90. He's 90% good, 10% bad. I'll take that any day of the week over other coaches.
Yeah, Andy Reid's time management sometimes drives me insane. It's like, dude, okay, I understand why you're not taking it, but you need to fucking take it right now. Take what you have 3 of them in your pocket. You're not going to exchange those for cheeseburgers after the game, buddy. Just go ahead and use them. The concession stand's not going to be like, hey, I kept 2 timeouts. I'm going to go ahead and cash in. Give me a cheeseburger, fries, and a large Coke. No, Andy, that's not going to happen. Cheeseburger. Anyways, Kansas City comes away with sweeping the Raiders this season. 19-17. A lot of people not happy, but it is what it is. I think the best thing to take away from this win is that Kansas City actually clinches the first playoff spot this year in the NFL. So in the whole entire NFL, nobody else has clinched a playoff spot yet. Everybody else is too close to actually call. We're still so far ahead that
Buffalo did. They clinched their division, I believe.
What'd they play? Sunday night? They played Sunday night. Did they do that with Sunday night's win?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I'll look it up just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure they clinched the playoff spot. But you are correct. The Chiefs were the first to clinch the playoff spot.
They were the first. We're not, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is we're not going to get down to the final week of the year to find out whether we're going to the playoffs or not. Which, if you grew up with Kansas City like Phil and I have, we spent a lot of season hoping that somebody will lose and somebody will lose so that we can go to the playoffs. Have one more week of Chiefs football. That puts them 3 games up on LA, on the Chargers, who we got this coming week. And I'm going to tell you right now, Harbaugh's kind of come in there fire, and he's not going to let up. So Kansas City better figure out that O-line real fucking quick. And better figure out what they're doing with their defense. Once again, I'm still thrilled that they pulled Najee Johnson. I've been talking about it for weeks now. He just needed to go. We got Nick Jones. I mean, Nick Jones is on the practice squad. Just bring him up. Give him a shot at it. If he doesn't work out, he doesn't fucking work out. But there's no need to keep these guys. Just fucking move them along if they're not going to produce. And it wasn't that Najee I didn't think was committed. I just think that he just got confused, and I don't think he's got the football brain to go out there and play it at such a high level. So that's just my opinion. I'm sure he's a really nice guy. I don't mean to insult him by any means, but it takes a lot to play in the NFL, especially at those positions.
Yes, Buffalo and Kansas City are the only teams that have clinched a playoff spot in the entirety of the NFL. No one in NFC has clinched a division or a playoff spot.
Okay. And of course, as you know, Buffalo beating us a couple weeks ago gives them the tiebreaker coming into the playoffs. So we have got to come away with this win against the Chargers in order to stay ahead of Buffalo. And Buffalo's just driving right now, man. They are looking good. They are looking like a real badass team. So let's hope for a win against the Chargers in Kansas City, in Arrowhead. Getting excited. All right, Chief. Are you ready for Where Are They Now?
Oh, my gosh.
Listen, man, I picked one this week that you should get. You should get this
I
one.
did get. No, I got one.
You've got one out of 12 weeks. You've gotten one. And I didn't use this one last week because I wanted to save it for you so you can have a shot at it. But don't answer until I finish what I'm going to say. Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Lynn Dawson.
No, I wouldn't go that easy. Yeah. All right. Born October 30th of 1958, this American professional football player who was a running back for 2 seasons in the National Football League, both of those seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs, set 4 franchise records that would stand for more than 20 years. He has 2 all-time All-American athlete from Northwestern State, and as well as in track and field. He played 2 seasons with the Chiefs and was chosen as the AFC Rookie of the Year in 1981. Hold on. Early life. Early life. Was born in Henderson on October 30th, attended Halton High School in Bowser Parish in northern Louisiana. Discouraged by his father from pursuing his dreams to play football, he decided to be a wide receiver during his junior year, and of course went on to be scouted by Granville State, Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana State. He played Division AA at Northwestern State from 77 to 80. After telling his coach he was willing to play football at a collegiate level. Of course, he switched to running back position at that point. He carried the ball 28 times for 299 yards on October 28th of 78, giving for the Northern State against Nicholas State University, becoming the second, 263 of those come in the second half. Which was an NCAA record. Finished his career with 3,047 yards and 31 touchdowns and 188 points. That's his college career. His professional career, hold on, what did I do? His professional career, he was selected in the second round of the 81 draft by Kansas City, named Rookie of the Year of the All-American Football Conference. He rushed for 1,121 yards, set 4 club records, and averaged about 81 yards per game. He helped propel Kansas City to a 9-7 record that year after winning his first winning season in 1973. I don't know, since 1973, sorry. He was selected to the Pro Bowl. Yeah. That was the first winning season Kansas City had since 1973. That was in 81. That's a long time. And then just some odds and ends where he came off the bench, recorded 101 rushing yards against New England. He ran 106 again, 104 in his starts against Oakland. And he broke a 75-yard touchdown against the Broncos that year. Just all kinds of shit. All right. And now for the piece of the resistance. If you don't know this, then you don't know who this player is. This player died June 29th, 1983, while attempting to rescue 3 children from drowning in a pond in Monroe in northeastern Louisiana. He was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal by Ronald Reagan. And while not officially retired, his jersey number while playing for the Chiefs has not been worn since his death.
See, now I know who it is.
Yeah, I knew that once I hit that last spot, you know who it was.
It was in the news, you know. A lot of people saw these 2 children drowning. No one did anything about it. He took action. Joe Delaney.
Yep.
And saved the kids, but unfortunately lost his life in doing so. But a selfless act. I would have done the same thing. You know, great player. You know, great. How I don't know the right word to say. Citizen, a great citizen. You know, to give up his life for two children. So. And it's weird you brought him up because I think it was 2 days ago was the anniversary or 3 days, something like that.
Something like that.
Was it?
No, it was in June. It was June 29th when that happened. It was something that came up about him a couple weeks ago, and I did a hard dive.
News.
Here, check this out. Despite his inability to swim, Delaney nevertheless tried to rescue the children. One managed to get out of the water without harm. The other was taken to the emergency room where he later died. Police recovered the body of Delaney and the remaining child. The amusement park has since been closed to the public. But you nailed it. You know, all these people, you know, he watched these kids go out and he knew that there was too much. And they tried to stop him because he's like, I can't swim, but I can't let them. I've got to help them. And he went. Which in turn then, you know, for his sacrifice, you know, he was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal on July 15th of that year. So
you wouldn't have brought that up, I would have no clue who you're talking about, because when you said he played for 2 seasons, I'm like, how the hell am I going to remember someone that played for 2 seasons, you know, for the Chiefs?
That's how.
But yeah, the last part definitely gave it away.
Absolutely.
To a hero, you know.
Absolutely.
Not an NFL player, an American hero. So
absolutely. Yes, so there you go. That is Where Are They Now? And remembering back to some of the legends of Kansas City. I think it's important to go back and remember all the players who we used to watch endlessly for many, many, many weeks. Of course, this Delaney was a little bit before my time of being a Chiefs fan, but
you gotta laugh.
It's all good. Still a great memory.
You got to laugh that one stat that you threw out there. I believe it was from 73 or 78 until 83 or 88, whatever it was. We hadn't
would have been. We hadn't had a winning
team.
Season since 1973 to 1981.
I mean, that's just, you know, horrible.
Yeah, and now you know why we walk around, you know, strutting our stuff. But in this Patrick Mahomes era and this dynasty that we're in now, because we're used to having season upon season upon season where we're just not having winning seasons, you know.
Yep, we're just back in the 90s we were good, and 2000s we went to shit, and
yep,
Mahomes came in.
Todd Haley, fuck you.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm enjoying the ride.
There you go. I am too.
You know, when it stops, it stops. But we'll
enjoy it. We'll enjoy it till it stops, and then we'll move on. But you know what we'll still be doing? We'll still be fucking Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yep. And guess what? They'll probably find the next Mahomes. You know, Green Bay did it for some. Green Bay did it with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. You know, I mean, I can't remember. They had 3 quarterbacks altogether, but
Jordan
all 3
Love.
were great. Yeah, Jordan Love. Thank you. You know, they find the right people.
They do.
So maybe, you know, and Mahomes has got another. Let's go on a limb, 8 to 10 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, left.
I don't know if he's got. I don't know if he's got. He might have 10 years. He might attempt to beat Brady's record for age in the NFL. I mean, yeah, but you know, that's
46.
No, 42.
Oh, I can't remember how old Brady
was. I think it was in the early 40s when he finally retired. But you know, that would still mean Pat still got, you know, 13 years left in the league, which for a quarterback is a lot of years. You know,
45.
45, no shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll break.
I thought it was 46.
Maybe he will break it. Maybe he will break it. I don't know. We'll wait and find out. We got a lot of time to figure that one out. All right, Jeep, let's get out of here. Thank you guys for listening to Indiana Chiefs fans. Go check out all of our merch at goldenmojoent.com. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts, you know, on the page there. Go look them over. The Puck Yeah podcast is new. Their newly page is up on the website. Go check that out. Yeah. Seasons in Hell Sports Network right here. Indiana Chiefs fans, Gridiron Kings, and the Puck Yeah podcast. That's what we do. All right, guys. I only had 3 words for you. From our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana. How about those Chiefs? Later.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?